In 1972, as Apollo 17 made its way to the moon, the astronauts took this photo of Earth. Back then, it was an amazing technical achievement. Now, in the 21st century, everyone can not only view the Earth, but interact with it, with just a few mouse clicks, thanks to tech companies like Google, which is just one of many that are clustered around a special place called the Silicon Valley. Nestled into Northern California, it is the place of innovation. For creating new technology, new leaders, some are famous, had movies made about them. There's even a popular TV show to capture the startup spirit. Yet, you rarely hear about the entrepreneurs or leaders that look like this popular character. Their stories are equally impressive, inspiring. These men, against all the odds, have also shaped this valley. How did they get here? Where did they come from? What did they leave behind? Let's find out. How did Silicon Valley become the place for Asians to fulfill their American dream? To get that answer, let's head up the road and over the bay.
I have been a professor at UC Berkeley for over 30 years. I came here with an interest in studying Silicon Valley. Prior to 1965, Asian immigrants were really shut out from the U.S. One of the big triggers for the change in Silicon Valley was that U.S. immigration policy changed.
In 1882, the Chinese Exclusion Act would forbid Chinese from coming to America. In 1965, Lyndon B. Johnson changed all that. The Immigration and Nationality Act abolished quotas, opening the doors to those who can contribute most to this country, to its growth, to its strength, to its spirit.
The first wave, I think, of Chinese that came to the U.S. were mainly from Taiwan.
Taiwan's government's policy was to transform its primarily low-cost labor and farming industry into the high-tech sector, led by Li Kuo-ting. They sent their best engineering graduate students to study in the United States. As word of their success made its way back to the island, other students decided to follow in their footsteps.
So the early students often, especially the early students from Taiwan, were poor. They came from a very poor country.
Dr. Tailin Su was one of those students. The company he founded, H&Q Asia Pacific, is recognized as a pioneer of Asian venture capital.
We actually lived in the southern part of Taiwan, called Pingdong. That's all farm land, even though it's relatively poor from a material point of view, but very hopeful. Like any of these aspiring people, I dreamed a lot. I was a 12-year-old boy that actually could go walk to the school. I went through the rice paddies, now becoming a yellow bed of grain, sundry, radiant with a yellow bright color. While I was walking in the paddies, I just cannot avoid singing. Just an expression of joy and hope for the future. At that time, I was simple. I had no idea what's physics, what's chemistry, what's the Nobel Prize, anything like that. And I also got exposed to two scientists, Li Zhendao and Yang Zhenming. They got the first Nobel Prize for Chinese. At that time, I wanted to follow their footsteps. So I had a dream that I can be just as successful. My high school in Pingtung, however tranquil and nice, statistically, you won't be able to get there. So I need to know that I have to go to the United States. High on the hill, it calls to me.
Back in the 1850s, the gold rush encouraged so many Chinese to cross the ocean to come to California, come to San Francisco. Even after the gold rush slowed to a crawl, and laws were passed to exclude Asians from coming here, San Francisco's Asian community continued to thrive. It's no wonder that others would also come here and eventually shape Silicon Valley.
There was a lot of funding for engineering graduate education in the U.S. at the time, and it really did attract especially these Taiwanese in the early days.
As co-founder of InnoLight Technology Corporation, the San Jose Mercury News described Mr. Kung as one of Silicon Valley's most understated power brokers. Before he could earn that title, he first had to immigrate to San Francisco from Taiwan.
I was born in the mainland China. Family went to Taiwan when I was 1 year old. So basically, I was educated, raised in Taiwan. Come to the United States in 1967. First stop I arrived is in San Francisco.